All right.
All right. So without further ado, that was great conversation. Thank you everyone for participating. Obviously, this is Coffee with the Broker, so conversations like that are what we want. Absolutely. Thank you, Julia, for bringing that up. That was a great learning tip for everyone. So this session of Coffee with the Broker, we're going to talk about generating leads. Now, Freddie brought to my attention generating leads through Reels, social media kind of generation. There's already like a pre-made training video that we have at our disposal that Freddie sent to me this morning that is approximately 51 minutes long. Do you all want to do something like that, or do you just want to talk about different ways, different possibilities, if you will, to generate leads? What is the general consensus of the group? Can we get some kind of a vote here?
Leads.
Leads.
When they process it this
We can
morning,
listen to the video.
Okay, we got 1 versus 1 here.
Well, the video is all about how to produce leads through social media. Which is your cheapest avenue or least expensive avenue, right? Social media and your sphere of influence.
I say the video.
And Faith voted for different kinds of leads. So now we got 2 for 2. We'll make Freddie the tiebreaker in a minute. And we can do both. Like, please don't take me wrong. I talked to Florida Best Quote about the training. I don't remember what we, oh, John just said video. That's the tiebreaker right now. Let's do the video. We will, I promise we will cover the leads. Oh, Megan just said leads. Oh boy, video. All right. This is good. I love this. This is 4-3 right now, Freddie. LOL, Megan said. All right, cool. I promise you, I promise all of you, we will do the in general leads training, you know, because right now we're 4-3. So we'll play this video and then yeah, or better yet, hey Freddie, what do you think about this? We can just send the video to everyone and they can watch it on
Well,
their.
I was just gonna say, why don't we talk about leads, and then we can send the video and then take a snapshot of who's here, and let's test them next week on who actually watched the video and if they did anything with it.
Okay. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Okay. So, Freddie, you want to kick this off about sphere of influence?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. All right.
A
A wise man once told me to watch or read this ninja selling book. I was like, yeah, sure, yeah, whatever. And I fought tooth and nail, and then somebody else, like it came up, you know, somebody else, they're like ninja selling, blah 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 blah, and so I did, and oh my gosh, it was a very fantastic book. I listened to it. A lot of my books and knowledge that I consume is through video, right? Or through Audible when I'm driving, right? So, and if you go to YouTube, they have a YouTube following as well. But the book is, I think it's just called Ninja Selling, right, Freddie?
Yeah, it's Ninja Selling by Larry Kendall. That's one of the installations that I've been to. I've been to various coaching installations like Buffini, Ninja Selling. I've also been through one that I have a mentor, and I've had a mentor for years. He calls it Jumpstart, and it was created by him. Ninja Selling is actually on Facebook too, so you can follow them on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about staying in touch with the people that know you, like you, and trust you, because those are the people that want to do business with you. How to grow your sphere of influence, how to stay in touch and stay in front of your sphere of influence, things that you should be practicing daily for your marketing, because you want your leads to come from your referrals, right? Those are the ones that have the highest closing ratio is referral leads, right? You want people when they think of you to think of, well, anything that they think of real estate, they want your name to pop up in their brain, first of all. So if they're thinking anything real estate, wow, I wonder what this cost or what's happening over here, they want your name to pop up and they want those questions directed to you, or you want those questions directed to you. So you want to be that local expert for them in that real estate field. And when they think of somebody, you should be popping up first thing. So it's all about that subtle skills, big results. That's what it's called. That's one of, like I said, few installations that I've been to, coaching installations and mentorship installations.
And this is a great book for those of you who haven't read it or downloaded it or listened to it or whatever the case may be. Like, I remember one of the stories is they call them the ninjas, right? One of the ninjas has a database of 500 people, and he prints up the address labels every single quarter and staples it together. And then, you know, when he's out and about, he looks at like whose place he's close to or whatever the case may be. He has a plan every quarter to stop by and either stop by in person or call these people, right? So if he's at a home inspection or something like that, he's on the phone, he's calling people. If he's in the area, he's stopping by, visiting them. You know, when they close on their house, he calls them 3 days later. Any unexpected repairs that popped up, if it's something small, he pays for it himself. I was like, wow, that's super classy. If it's a bigger repair, he drops what he's doing. He comes over. He, you know, sees, hey, you know, maybe I could do something to help. Da 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 da. And he has his contractors, right? He has a network of contractors that he'll give to the people so that they can call so that they can get the repair done. And they're reputable people, right? So he's kind of the go-to guy. And it's him and a part-time assistant. I'm like, what? And he's like one of the top 100 people, I think, in Colorado, or yeah, I think it's Colorado. But I'm just like, you know, you think of, and all he does is sphere of influence, and he doesn't pay for any advertising. The book also goes into like the Mark Spains of the world, right? It doesn't say Mark Spain in particular, but where, you know, he's got his face and on billboards, on buses, on this and that and the other thing, and he's crushing it and blah 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 blah. That's what it looks like from the outside, right? He's the top selling salesperson, but you know, he's broke. And somebody starts doing like the ninja platform and starts doing the sphere of influence and just touching on their database, right? Just ripping on them, calling them up, see how they're doing, see if they have any real estate needs, see how the house that they sold is going, any unexpected repairs, you know, just making conversation. And then, oh, by the way, if you know anybody looking to buy or sell, will you please send them my way, right? So so it's a great book. I mean, it also talks about like I think they call it the reverse open house, right? So basically they do like a housewarming party. So when they close on their house, they have a housewarming party. They host it with like, you know, vendors, the lender and stuff like that, of sponsors. So you're not breaking the bank, paying, you know, $500-600 for food. And then they're doing a raffle, so people put their information in, so you get all their contact information for all their friends and family who came to the housewarming party. You know, there's just so many fantastic ideas and so many great ways to generate business that I highly recommend it. Freddie must have told me about this book like 3 or 4 times, and I'm like, nope, didn't read it yet. Nope, you know, doing my own thing or whatever excuse I gave him. But when I finally read it, I'm like, this book's amazing. You should tell more people about it. And he just started laughing at me.
Hey,
so,
just a quick disclosure, we're not getting paid to sell this book or anything like
no,
that
nothing
at
like
all.
that. These are
just
sponsored.
personal things that I've done throughout my career that has helped me not only with my business, but in life in general. There's a lot of life lessons to this as well. So
And Freddie
anyway, go ahead.
does this basically like you do softball, right?
I do.
And
Which is a big sphere of influence for me, because when you got 12 guys on a team and you got 140 teams in a tournament, I'm getting to talk to a lot of people. You know what I mean? And guess what? When they look at me, they not only think about softball, but they ask real estate questions. I picked up a couple of listings recently because of it. So it's all about connecting with the people that know you, that like you, that trust you, that have similar interests. You know, you might be part of a bike club or a cycling club, or, you know, people at the gym, whatever it is you enjoy. You know, you may have someone in one of your kids is in soccer, so you got all the soccer moms and stuff there. It's working your sphere of influence is basically what it's showing you, and how to connect with people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well said, Freddie. Thank you. Another system, I personally use this one. Again, we are not endorsing, these are not vendors or anything like that. I personally use this system. Okay. Buffini and Company. All right. They have a what's it called? A CRM, which is called Referral Maker. Okay. You put all your leads, you don't put leads in here. You put all your sphere of influence in here. Okay. For instance, this young lady right here, I helped her and her husband in 2022 purchase a house. Okay. May 2022, they closed. November 2022, I brought them 2 pies when they were staying at Bonnet Creek for Thanksgiving. Here you go. Happy Thanksgiving. Here's a couple of pies. Have a nice day. Right? They referred out brother and sister-in-law that bought a $185,000 house. They referred out their good friends, Don and Angie, who bought a $275,000 home. They referred out, Don and Angie referred out Donnie and Bethany, their kids, who bought a $375,000 home, recently sold that $375,000 home for $443,000, purchased a $550,000 home. Recently, like this past month. Okay. The year before is when they bought the $375,000 home, all cash. Okay. So if you keep in touch with your database, that's the kind of results you'll be getting. I host 2.
I have a couple of questions, Jeremy. Hold on.
Yeah, please.
So how many of us on this call actually have a database? Anybody?
Anybody can unmute. These are not hard questions. Your phone book is one. Anybody have a phone book?
I was gonna say my phone book.
There you
Well,
go.
yeah, your phone, your contacts on your phone.
Okay.
So do you have somewhere where you're keeping besides your phone? Because it's kind of hard to hit everyone at once from your phone, right?
In my Gmail contacts.
Your Gmail contacts. Okay. So no one's using a CRM for a database, to keep a database, or are you guys keeping it? I mean, that's it. No Excel sheet that you can upload.
I keep them in the Stellar Prospects.
Stellar prospects. Okay.
Okay. But are you, or is anyone on this call, like, not to single anybody out, I was about to call Megan out, but like who is systematically, like, once a quarter reaching out to these people, or just something, right? Besides maybe posting on social media, hey, I'm in it, I'm winning, you know, that sort of thing. Who is systematically reaching out to their entire database every single quarter, every single year, every single 6 months? Anyone?
Nope.
Sending out maybe a monthly newsletter. Then the next month, maybe sending them a CMA. Maybe the month following that, send them a market update.
Okay. So this right here, this program, and I'm not into, this is just one thing I use. Like, please don't misunderstand. The pro version, if you look up at the top left, is $150. They send you 100 mailers. You need to fold them up, put them in an envelope, put the address labels on there, and send it out. For another $150, they'll mail them out for you. So Janice and I pay $300 a month for them to mail out. This also has an email, a drip campaign. Once per month email goes out. So once per month, they get an email from me. Once per month, they get a mailer from Janice and myself, right? And then when we're doing what we should, let's put it that way, it doesn't always happen every single day, but like what happens, obviously not this week because there's 0 on the wind of the day, when the week, if you're looking at the background here. What should happen on a daily basis is I should be making at least 5 calls, 10 calls is my goal. And this is to make $250,000 a year. This is how easy it is, right? With our price point, 10 calls a day, 2 notes a day, stopping by one of my previous clients' homes per day will make me $250,000 per year, right? This is my business plan. I plugged in all this stuff into the CRM. It says, this is the formula to make $300,000 a year. That's what I put in. Okay. And then this is the weekly goals, right? 50 calls per month or per week, right? That's 10 calls a day. Not hard. They don't have to call you back. They don't have to pick up. You just have to make the call, right? 10 notes, 2 notes a day, right? 5 pop-bys, database entries. This is my own personal goal. I want to add at least 5 people per week to my database, because the bigger and bigger and bigger the database gets, that you actually stay in touch with and follow up with systematically, right? It will produce. Okay, last month, Janice and I made over $40,000 just from Sphere of Influence business.
I'm glad you're talking about this, Jeremy, because if you look at it, it all starts with a goal, right? So we got to write down your goals. What do you want? What do you want to do?
Who has written goals here? How much do you want to make? Written down.
Yep. And what we call SMART goals. I'm sure you guys have heard this.
Tell them, Freddie, what does that mean?
SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, time-bound. SMART goals.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you.
And then what do you need to do to reach your goals? You got to make a plan, right?
One thing.
And this is what he's talking about right here, making a plan. What am I going to do this week? Instead of waiting for the phone to ring, how am I going to make it ring? Making those phone calls, sending out those newsletters, putting an hour of your day every day into your marketing.
Another thing.
That's what you should be doing. You should be time blocking an hour of your morning, and it should be done in the morning, first thing in the morning, and get your marketing done.
Another thing I wanted to add, Freddie, about the Ninja Selling book is that they talk about, writing, and you and I have had conversations about this, writing one super strong goal. Like for me, I'm so happy and grateful now that I make $300,000 a year, right? Writing in the present tense, just writing that one goal over and over and over again. And I remember in the Ninja Selling book that there were some people from the office, they wanted to go to lunch, and they're like, hey, will you come to lunch with us? And she was like, no, I'm an agent that makes over $300,000 a year. I can't be having lunch with you guys, other agents, right? There's nobody there that's going to buy a home with me or sell a home with me, right? I'm calling up my Sphere, I'm inviting them out to lunch, right? So it's going to make you act in a different way as well, right? What is the $300,000 agent going to do that's netting $300,000, right? What are they going to do differently than the person who's netting $75,000 per year? Right? You're going to act in different ways. You're going to spend your time in different ways.
So the idea is set up your goals, set up the plans to reach those goals, and then put those plans into action. Put them into action. And you don't have to do them all. You don't have to do them all. Just pick out a couple of them. You get it done, move on to the next one.
You don't need this program to do this, right? You can figure out like, hey, this is how much I want to make. This is my tax rate, blah, blah, blah. How many transactions do I need to do per month? That sort of thing. It's nice because it kind of breaks it all down in here and makes it visually, you can just look at it visually. How many contacts do I need to make? How many transactions do I need to make? That sort of thing, right? How many contacts do I need to make per month?
And if you guys need a database and a CRM at no cost, you have the Real Smart Agent. You
Absolutely.
have your website there. There's a CRM there where you can actually send out email blasts. You can set up email campaigns, drip campaigns as well. The only thing is that there is no templates in there. You would have to set up your templates. So it's not as robust, but you do have a free CRM available through your website portal and the Real Smart Agent. So great place to keep a database. We're not going to steal your contacts, we promise. It is printable. You can just print it up after you put it in there, so you have a copy yourself. We're not interested. We're just trying to give you tools for you to be successful. So feel free to use the CRM in your HomeSmart agent account.
I was just in there over the weekend, and that website is actually, it has more tools than you would think it does. I was amazed. The more I kept unpeeling, there was more stuff there.
Yes.
I did notice, and I've already reported this, but I wanted Freddie to know, maybe he can call up there too, that one of the things that there's like a tab, a button that you can click on selling or buying or something, and it takes you right back to the Florida HomeSmart page. And I think there's another button that says find an agent. And when you click on that, it goes to all the agents again. So it's not.
Well, you have to click on the search bar. Where are you searching? What's the agent's name?
No,
or
I know,
what's-
but this is on your personal website. It shouldn't have a link to the main web page again. They said it was wrong and they're looking into it, but
Okay.
you might want to check that out yourself on your own website. You can click on it, selling or buying, and then it takes you to the main HomeSmart page. And then you can click on find an agent, and I mean, you don't want people going to your website that you've directed traffic to and then being opened up to the whole office agents again.
Well, if you're sending out email campaigns and stuff like that, and somebody opens up your email, they should be going to your website,
They
directly
do,
to your
That's
website.
what's
they
happening.
do, but I'm saying you can, at least on mine, and I called in and they confirmed it, that it's a problem, it's a glitch.
Got it. Okay. Well, that's why. And well, the good thing about that, John, is that it is our system. We own it. It's proprietary. So we're not paying a third party. So we can fix those things. So I'm glad you picked up on it. And I'm sure they're going to get back to you.
Thank you, John.
welcome.
Another lead source, right? Is KB Core. Normally KB Core is $500 a month through HomeSmart. Now you contact agent services to get this set up. You set up KB Core. Okay. I know of an agent who took a break from real estate, right? Was doing okay, mostly sphere of influence business, took a break from real estate, then came back, signed up with KB Core again, I think 2 to 3 weeks ago. And he has 2 properties under contract for 0 spend in advertising from using KB Core and Marketplace. So he'd create the ad through KB Core, he'd put it on Facebook Marketplace, and he'd just wait for the leads to come in. And don't get me wrong, he's like, follow up. That's what I did. That's how I got it. But he got 1 property under contract for $650,000, and the buyer decided to buy 2, and then got another property under contract for $700,000.
I'm glad you said that too, Jeremy, about the follow-up. You guys ever heard the expression, the key is in the follow-up?
Yeah, the fortune's in the follow-up. That's what I've heard.
Fortune's in the follow-up. And so do you know the average number of times you actually got to call, text, and or email someone a brand new lead for them to actually sometimes respond or get into motion? Anybody know that?
Wait.
10?
Wait.
Okay, that's a good guess. 10.
Yeah, okay.
I'd say 20.
Okay, we got 10, we got 20.
14.
Yeah, statistics show 18 or more times you actually have to reach out to people before you sometimes even get a reaction.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Now,
wow, that's right.
do that in a sense that you're not stalking either. So don't call them 18 times in one day.
Yeah.
The idea is to try to communicate with them by land, sea, and air. And by what I mean by that is email, you text one day, invite them out for coffee the next day, send them emails on properties, whatever it is. But yeah, you should be reaching out and following up at least 18 times on the first time you meet someone or a lead.
And please,
So.
you guys, if you haven't looked into this, I'm guessing everyone here is interested in getting more leads. That's why they're here, right? So KB Core is a tremendous resource. You got landing pages, you got a website, you got a CRM integration. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. You can pay to advertise through KB Core to be, getting social media leads and everything like that, or you could do it yourself, right? The kid I was talking about that already got 2 properties under contract using KV Core, using Facebook Marketplace, did $0 in ad spend. He only paid the $45 a month to HomeSmart for KV Core. Okay, this is huge. If Janice and I ever slow down enough to get this in place, we will absolutely do this. We've tried to do this. We've signed up for it. We've gotten it. And then I'm like, hey, have you dug in? You know, I talked to Janice. I'm like, hey, have you dug into the training at all on this? And she's like, nope. And then another month goes by and another month goes by. And I'm like, all right, let's cancel this. We're too busy for this. And she's like, okay. So yeah, but the people that have it and use it absolutely make money at it. I know Earl King uses this as well. The King Group.
And the one important point that I want to put out to you guys is, listen, you don't want to depend on, your broker providing leads. Yeah, okay, we're going to provide leads and we're going to try to give you as many leads as possible. But or anybody else or a third party, the idea is to get your own leads and produce your own leads by doing all these activities. Because if you're depending on someone else for leads, guess what? Your business depends on someone else, right?
Yeah.
And you don't want that. You got into this to be your own entrepreneur, your own business owner. You are your own business owners. So you dictate the leads that come to you and how you generate those leads. We're here to help. We're here to support. We're here to back you up. We're here to provide leads when we can. But you shouldn't depend on anyone else for lead generation. It should be produced by yourself, and you should be dependent on yourself for lead generation. Obviously, you can pay platforms like this and stuff like that, but what I'm saying is you should be producing your own leads, and everything else is gravy, right? So we produce a big funnel, and you throw everything into the funnel, and you see what sticks at the end of the funnel after you sift it through, right?
I'm gonna bring up your gravy analogy again. Hold on. So I want to add to that, you guys, because there's been several times in my real estate career over the past 16 years where I've gotten connected with what was just a gravy train, right? We'll bring up the whole gravy thing again here. And I didn't have to fish anymore, right? I didn't have to go out and hunt. Okay. Just stuff was coming to me. And I got lazy with lead generation and I wasn't doing it anymore. Okay. Here's the problem, right? Like Freddie said, if you're relying on one source, that can easily be taken away from you. Okay. I'll spare everyone the names and everything like that, but a big investment group that now is in, I think, 18 different states, and they have thousands of properties, a multi-billion-dollar company at this point. When they first started up, they started up in Chicago because that's where they were located. And I was their property manager / whatever. And we got very busy with them very quickly, and we're making $20,000 a month of property management fees, $250,000 a month in maintenance and renovation fees, right? Like, it was just like, whoa, I felt like I hit the lottery. And then they said, nope, we're going to bring it all in-house. Bam, gone, done. Okay. Had to be like, oh, crud. I didn't think about that, right? I've never been fired for doing my job and, doing what they wanted me to accomplish, right? So it's such a weird thing. And then recently, I partnered with this company out of California, right, for helping them acquire and sell the properties that they renovated. And guess what? Market shifted a little bit across, not anything in Orlando, but across the board in like Tampa and Jacksonville and California and Tennessee. They made some really bad investments. They hired some really bad people in those areas. And now they're bleeding and they've stopped all acquisitions and they're just like freaking out and they're sell. Okay. And they don't care how much money they make because they're just freaking out and they're running around with like chickens with their heads cut off. Now, if I had sat back and let go of my whole sphere of influence, right, and said, hey, I got this gravy train here, I'm good, right, then I would be hurting right now.
You're so right. You're so right about not allowing oneself to be or get complacent. I can hold my own self accountable for that too. But you're so right, Jeremy.
It's easy to do. It's easy to do. You get into those patterns of, I mean, that's what our lives make up so much of, right? It's just patterns of what we do and everything like that. And thank you for chiming in, Jennifer. I appreciate that. I know you've been in this business for a long time, and it's easy, right? It's easy to like work hard and then take a little break and whatnot. But you really want multiple streams of leads coming in, not just like one system, not just like KV Core or the referral maker program I was talking about. Or one
And
source.
we haven't even gotten into social media yet. That's
Yeah.
another big lead generation platform is social media itself.
Yeah, KV Core, you can set up your social media and do a squeeze page where you get their contact information. One of the things that is on my to-do list is setting up like a buyer and investor seminar, right? So free, no obligation, blah, 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 first time home buyer seminar. And then like alternatively, like every other weekend, then like an investor seminar, right? We'll help you buy the property. We'll get you connected with the property management company, blah, 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 and getting, all these people involved, right? Getting the lender involved, getting the property management company involved, the inspector involved, having all these people help with the advertising to get all these people in the door, right? Doing it virtually and or in person, right? So there's so many different ways out there to make this happen, to provide value. Because if you're not providing value, you're just going to be chasing them. But if you're providing value, they're going to come to you. They're going to find you. So when you're doing anything like this, you're setting up, an internet lead program. You really want to think it through from start to end, right? What is the main value proposition that I'm going to be offering, and why would people want to come to me? And don't say just because I got a real estate license, because that's how most people advertise. They put it on social media. Hey, I just closed another home. If you know anybody looking to buy or sell, let me know. Right? What's your value proposition? Why would they call you? I always say I have a very educative, consultative approach. Right? I'm here to educate, not to sell. All right, we got some questions in the chat. So local printing vendor, Brendan, that you would recommend for flyers and mailers. I don't recommend anything for flyers and mailers. So I'm not the resource for that. Freddie, you got anybody in Brandon for flyers and mailers?
Actually, you can create flyers and mailers through your RSA account. And you can order them through us as well. Or you can print them up, and you can print them up and take them to a local printer and say, hey, I need 100 of these. Or you can go, actually, what I've done before is I've gotten the good paper that I wanted on, and done it myself, printed it up on my own printer. And they look great.
Marketing design.
No, I didn't use Vistaprint. I printed them up on my own printer. There's flyers and stuff that you can create in your RSA account. There's a whole bunch of stuff you can download as a PDF. You don't have to order it, or you can actually order it electronically and it will be emailed to you. So you have a bunch of stuff in there.
Yeah, it helps keep costs down.
Absolutely. And then if you want to do monthly mailers out to your neighborhood or something like that, or certain zip codes, then you just go down to the post office and, hey, I want to hit this zip code. What's it going to cost me? Or I want to hit this community. They usually don't do communities. They do by zip code. And don't ever drop anything in anybody's mailbox.
Yeah,
put a stamp on it and throw it in the, that is actually a federal offense.
Bedtime.
You can hang something on their door, but don't put anything in their mailbox.
And as you can see right here on the
Is
market.
it okay, legal to walk a neighborhood and leave a flyer by their front door? It all depends. Some gated communities don't want any solicitations. So just be careful. If it's your own where you live, I don't see why not, unless they have certain rules and regulations there. Like I said, if it's a gated community or there's an association, just check the bylaws. You might have a community poster where you can put stuff up. But yeah, you have all this stuff available to you in Real Smart Agent. You have a whole bunch of stuff in there. Social media graphics as well. You can make your own social media graphics and then turn it into Canva and adjust it. And there's a whole bunch of things available for you. So if you want to put a little sweat into it, you have this stuff here. If you want to put a little money into it, there's other avenues.
So, I mean, you got it all here. You want to do door hangers, you want to do postcards, you want to do banners, or, you know, car magnets. I believe I was told this, maybe prices have changed, that the car magnets are only $50, right? One of your top producers for the entire state has a name tag and he wears it everywhere he goes. Not only-
Actually, there's a few of them out there. You got Juan and his team are all using signs on their cars and on their chests, you know, name tags. Earl King, his team is also out there with the signs. There's a few of you out there. You got pictures too. Very nice.
So, my point of bringing up the whole, the name tag, right? Non-Lee puts his name tag on pretty much everywhere he goes. I think when he goes to the beach, he's got a tattoo on his skin right there that says, you know, his information as well. He got 2 deals last year alone just from wearing his name tag everywhere he goes.
Hey, I got a deal from the deli line at Publix. So for wearing my name tag back in the day.
Mhm.
All right. You opened up a conversation. Oh, so how's the market? Oh boy, you don't want to ask me that.
Also partnering up probably with some of our vendors, maybe the title company, they'll know how to pick a zip code. And if you want to put, you know, the check equity into it, because I've done that as well, partner up with title
Actually,
companies.
you can partner
farm.
up with a title company and or a lender, and they can cover up to 80% of the cost, which means it'll only cost you 20%. That's RESPA.
Yeah.
You have to
So-
contribute something to your marketing.
Yes.
If someone else is contributing. So RESPA calls for 20% out of your pocket, and the rest can be picked up by vendors. And we have Minute Mortgage, so maybe reach out to Garrett. He might want to do some advertising with one of your listings or one of your flyers. So Minute Mortgage from the HomeSmart family, Garrett Smith, and he's actually out in the Orlando office. Anybody that wants this information, we will send it out. But reach out. And then you have Consumer Title as well. Scott's always up for a good party and good marketing. Reach out to Scott. Hey, would you guys do some flyers with me or some mail outs with me?
Julie had a question.
Yeah, leverage our affiliates.
Yeah.
Yeah. Julie had a question in the chat. Is it legal to walk the neighborhood and leave a flyer by the front door? If no one answers, obviously no soliciting signs. I wouldn't, but about the others. Me personally, Julia, I don't when I door knock and stuff like that, I don't bring by soliciting type materials, right?
Yep.
When I'm door knocking and stuff like that and I drop things off, it's about the neighborhood and what's sold, what's pending, what's active, right? There is no solicitation. I'm not soliciting, I'm providing information. So in that case, I knock on everybody's door. I leave a sheet with every single person, right?
Yeah.
Because you're not soliciting.
You know when I like to do door knocking too? If I'm having an open house, if I have a listing in the neighborhood, I like to do door knocking the day before my open house and invite the neighbors to like a VIP showing. And my tagline is, hey, how would you like to pick your neighbors? And they freak out, look at me like, what are you, crazy? I'm like, no. You know, I'm selling the house next door. I'm going to have an open house. I'll have a little VIP set up for you guys for the neighborhood, just the neighborhood between 10 and 11, where you guys can come in privately and just look out. And, you know, maybe you have a friend or a family member that's looking to move in close by. So you get to pick your neighbor and they get a laugh out of it and they actually show up. So, and that's what you want. You want people showing up to your event, right? It's an event. An open house is an event. Invite them to the event. Get out there. A lot of flags, a lot of signs. That's another door knocking tactic as well.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have a listing, reach out to one of our agents that does and ask them, hey, would you mind if I do an open house at one of your listings? We got a bunch of listings throughout the state. Look at our inventory. Go in the MLS.
Absolutely. In the Orlando area, got a $540,000 listing right now. Quentin Jones, one of our agents, just did Saturday and Sunday open houses for me because we're busy, but also we just bought a house and we're moving in, and so we didn't have a chance to do the open house this weekend ourselves.
And you
So-
know what the good thing is? The market shift a little bit, so you can actually have time to do an open house. You know,
Yeah.
you're not getting 15 offers in the first 3 hours. It's
Yeah.
actually, it's on the market for 4 or 5 days before something happens.
Yeah.
So, you know, good time. Open houses are
Yeah.
a great time right now.
So one of our agents, Juan Rodriguez, the team lead, in relation to Freddie, he one of the things he does is he looks up properties in Remind that have a high self score in his neighborhood. Okay, then he'll take a picture of that home, and he says, "Don't sell your home." Right. This was more so when the real estate was red hot fire and everything like that. And he would basically, the script would basically be, don't sell your home because you're going to be homeless. Right. And that they would be, you know, he would put the picture of the home on the letter. So it would really catch their attention. Right. And then he would go and Remind, he would look up people with a high sell score or medium sell score in his neighborhood. Right. He's not doing it everywhere, just his neighborhood. And it would only be like maybe 2 or 3 homes per month that would come up, but he had some success with that. He would use our partner Knock, right, the home swap program, to find homes that would qualify, number one, and then he would use the Knock program to get them pre-approved to buy their next home, and then he would get the 2 sales because he would help them sell that home and he would help them buy another home.
Hey, Jeremy, you know what's a good point? That
What?
he's working his neighborhood.
Absolutely,
His sphere
yeah.
of influence, which is your
Uh-huh.
neighborhood. And that's where you guys should really start. Work around your neighborhood, talk to your neighbors, get to know your neighbors, things like that. Get to really know your community, get involved in your community.
So we're almost at the end of this training session. I did this is my main concern, you guys. That you're going to sit here on this call, you're going to get this information, you're going to do absolutely nothing. So what I want you to do is just commit today in front of Freddie, God, and everybody, right? That what you're going to do, the one takeaway that you're going to get, and the one thing that you're going to do to implement something that we talked about on this training today. Okay, John, would you kick that off? Would you let us know what your one thing you're going to do with this training?
Yeah, why
I'd
don't
be
we type
happy
it
to
in the
do that.
chat? Type it in the
I'm,
chat.
I'm setting up a farm area here. I'm going to be doing postcards. I'm going to be doing Facebook ads. I'm going to be doing some other digital stuff here. And I'm trying to get information that people could use, like this insurance thing. I think I walk around the neighborhood twice a day, so I see. That's another thing you can do. If you walk around your neighborhood, you'll see stuff happening, right? You'll see an ambulance in front of a house, and then a couple months later, there's people coming there for physical therapy, and then a couple weeks after that, somebody's with out-of-state plates are there. They're somebody's in transition. They got to go to a elderly care home or something. So I've been keeping my eye. There's 2 or 3 people within 2 blocks of my house that need that situation. I've already contacted all 3 of them. So that was just stuff I saw by walking around. I saw one house that had a car that in the driveway that had expired. This is a 2-year-old Cadillac with 2-year-old dead tags on it. So something's going on with that house. They can't move their car. So I don't know if they've moved. Their email and their phone number has been disconnected, but that house is going to be on the market. But there's things you can do just walking around. If you see somebody getting their house painted, they might be going to sell it. If they're going to replace the roof, they might know about this insurance thing. But I'm trying to find different topics and I'm going to have links back to the free page that I get at HomeSmart. There's a blog on it. So I'm going to do blog posts probably at least once a week with all this valuable information, right? And then you want to have them come to you. So if they need to talk to Glenn about insurance, I'm not going to put his information on there. I'm going to put my information on there. They call me, I can have a conversation with them and then have Glenn call them. But I'm going to have like a campaign of informational, not just here, I can sell your house, I can sell your house, but the insurance thing, I think home warranties, most people don't know they can get a home warranty after they bought a house. it might be a couple of years, and now with inflation and everything, home warranty is more important. They might be willing to spend $600 or $700 for a warranty if you don't have to buy a new air conditioner or whatever. So I'm trying to get this all worked together. And, I think if you're the one person giving all these people information in your neighborhood, then you're going to become the expert real quick. So
That's
what
the
I'm gonna
idea,
do.
John. That's the
Yeah, I
idea.
love it. The value. That's the value. That's the value.
Exactly.
And I mean, most realtors, it's all about me. Hey, look what I did. Look at my beautiful Mercedes. I'm the top seller in Tampa, blah, blah, blah. People don't care about that. They want to know what you're going to do for them. So creating value is the way to go. That's the way to put yourself out there and market yourself. So absolutely, John. I'd
And
love
then
to
you just
see,
kind of
I'd love
leverage
to
it.
have this conversation again with you in a year and see where you're at.
Yeah, I mean, you start with one neighborhood, maybe 200 homes, 500 homes, whatever, and then once you get it perfected, you just move it over to the next neighborhood. And you
Yeah.
just kind of work your way out.
And if you have an HOA there, start showing up to the HOA meetings and start getting your face known and start getting and talk to your neighbors and let them know what you do and all that stuff. Just get involved.
It's amazing how many people you can meet just by walking.
Yeah.
I've talked to so many people, they got their garage door up and they'll say hi, and maybe they got a classic car or something. I'm a car guy. I'll go up and talk to them about their car. And I mean, I know where there's 6 Corvettes in the neighborhood now. I don't even own a Corvette, but I like plastic custom cars, all that kind of stuff. And these people will talk to you. Now, I mean, there's one guy, he already bought a house in Punta Gorda, but he said, if I had known you before I bought that house, I would have used you, and we're friends now and all that. So it's just,
That's the idea, is making connections.
and you're getting healthy too. I think I've lost like 20 pounds in the last 3 months. So
Yeah, there you go.
and you see all that's like
20
what they call
pounds,
it.
John, I've seen you.
It's a bird dog, right? They say you see the people, you see the contractors working on the house. Maybe it's a realtor's contractors, but maybe they're fixing the stuff on their own and they haven't talked to a realtor yet. So it's a good opportunity just to.
Well, that's another thing. You guys should all have a library of a plumber, an electrician, a title person, an attorney, any type of service out there in your neighborhood. You should have them in your sphere of influence, and you should actually reach out to them and say, hey, listen, I might be sending someone over or something like that. I'm going to use you as a referral. So, but they should be part of your sphere of influence as well. So, your local plumber, your local electrician, your local handyman, contractors. I mean, you name it, your mailman, your kids' teachers, you name it, they should all be part of your sphere of influence. So I'm glad you're talking about that, John.
Yeah, the beauty of like you started the whole conversation with your neighbor. The beauty of it is you're right here. I mean, you're walking through it every day if you can. Plus, if you got to go do something, if you get in the car, you're a minute away instead of driving across town 30 minutes or whatever and 30 minutes back. So
So
it really
become the
makes a lot of
local expert,
sense.
right?
And if they're moving somewhere else, get a referral.
Correct. You can help anybody in the country.
Right.
We have offices all over the US. All right, I think we're at the hour, Jeremy.
We are. Well, thank you so much for everyone who signed up. Please, please, please implement. It's not the knowledge that you have, but it's what you do with it. So please, if you could do anything to value the time that we spent together today, please implement, put it into practice. Don't just create a database, right? But then go out and touch on that database and then make sure they know, right? Because they see you on social media and this and that and the other thing. And they're like, oh, I think Faith is doing so well. She doesn't need my business. I think Jennifer Michelli is doing great. She doesn't need my business. You got to ask for the business, right?
And that's another thing. We're all part of your sphere of influence. Okay. We're a contact, right? Your broker, Jennifer, everybody on here, we're all sphere of influence for each other as well. So, and we can feed off of that as well.
Right. Well, thank you, Freddie. Thank you, everyone, for attending this session of Coffee with a Broker. If you do have any questions, please reach out to myself or Freddie. We're here to help and support you. Thank you.
Bye, all.
Bye.